From a modern psychological perspective, Egil's early behavior is certainly alarming. The lack of remorse, the impulsivity, the aggression, these are all red flags. Of course, we have to be careful about applying modern diagnostic categories to historical figures, but these behaviors, even allowing for cultural differences, would be cause for concern. But was Egil simply born this way? A bad seed destined for violence from the start? Or was he a product of his environment, shaped by the brutal world he was born into and the violent examples set by his father and grandfather? This is the central question we'll be grappling with in this episode: nature versus nurture. Was Egil's violent path predetermined by his genetics, by the legacy of his berserker ancestors? Or was it the result of his upbringing, the constant exposure to violence, and the lack of any real consequences for his actions? The saga paints a vivid picture of Egil's first kill. He's 7 years old, playing a ball game with other boys. A dispute arises, as they often do in children's games, but Egil's reaction is extreme. He grabs an axe and attacks. He buries the axe in another child's skull. The details of this incident are chilling. He kills a boy slightly older, and according to the saga, stronger than him, named Grim. This is not a playful shove or a childish fistfight. This is a deliberate act of lethal violence, committed by a child who should barely be old enough to understand the concept of death. The other children are terrified. Viking society was undoubtedly violent. Children were exposed to death and warfare from a young age, but even within that context, Egil's actions stand out. Killing another child in a fit of anger over a game was not normal, even for the Vikings. The other children scatter, fleeing in terror, and Egil, instead of showing remorse, boasts about his kill. "I split his skull with my axe! I killed him! I killed him!" The reaction of Egil's family to this horrific event is equally telling. His mother, Bera, praises him, saying he has the makings of a true Viking. His father's reaction is far more complex. Skallagrim arrives home that evening, and what happened next is perhaps the most disturbing incident of Egil's childhood. He hears of his son's actions, and something in him snaps. He becomes enraged. He goes into that same berserker gang. And Skallagrim, in a blind fury, turns on his own son. He intends to kill Egil, to punish him for the murder he has committed. Or perhaps, because he sees too much of himself in the boy now.